Once more, Ogrins! Reload!
The mass of Ogrins threw their spent magazines and reached into their ammo satchels for fresh drums for their Ripper guns.
Bill, your magazine is upside down. Biff, show him how it's done. Griff, you're loading your empty back into your gun. Remember, full mag heavy, empty mag light.
Commissar Gallus walked the line behind his charges, as most of them had successfully reloaded their weapons. A few were too excited to wait for the order and began firing at the targets, skittering holograms of various Tyranid bioforms. The Commissar tapped the two hulking forms on the back, who were a little overexcited.
Bill and Bert, wait for my order.
The offending Ogrins ceased fire.
Good work, Blue. Gus, Pip, Og.
Gallus went down the line, inspecting each Ogrin as they reloaded and stood ready to fire. Og beamed as his name was called in the good job list. Once all the Ogrins were reloaded, Gallus continued.
Now, give the bad bugs hell, boys. Fire!
The training room was filled with a cacophony of heavy weapons fire and shouting Ogrins as they fired upon the holograms. The enormous automatic shotguns wielded by the Ogrins tore through the fictitious Xenos as hit after hit was registered. Gallus counted himself lucky that aiming was not something he needed to teach these abhumans, as clouds of shot filled the training room. The Ogrins fired until their magazines were empty. Gallus nodded in approval as he pressed the button, causing the holograms to disappear.
Good. Eject and drop your empty mags and your ammo pouches.
The Ogrins did so.
We're getting better, but we need to be perfect for the Emperor.
Og's stomach growled audibly.
But, for now, it is time to eat. Put your Ripper guns in the boom pile in the barracks. Bonehead Biff will make sure that none of them are loaded, and then he will take you down to the mess hall.
The Ogrins cheered and began filing out. As they did so, Og pulled out a very crumpled and tattered picture of a Tyranid Carnifex.
When we get to the Emperor's favorite planet, I'm gonna smash you! Not in pretend, but for real!
Gallus sighed as he turned and headed towards the officers' club to take his meal. The Commissar patted his thigh as a large mastiff obediently strode to his side.
Good boy, Brutus.
As Gallus and Brutus left the Ogrin training room, he turned into the main corridor to find Commissar Fletcher waiting for him.
Ah, another day with the infants?
Fletcher smirked as he began walking with Gallus.
They're making progress. They should be ready for combat when we reach Molech.
I don't know how you do it, Gallus, having gigantic raging simpletons as your command. I don't know what I'd do if I had to lead men who couldn't follow more than one command at a time.
Why do you say that?
Oh, simply because I don't have your patience.
No. Why do you say that Ogrins can't follow more than one command at a time?
Gallus, that's common knowledge. You can't tell an Ogrin to attack a hill and then hold it. It'll become confused and likely to fly into a rage. That's Scholar Progenium first-year stuff.
A shame your knowledge of Ogrins hasn't progressed past your first year of instruction. Tell me, Fletcher, what is this?
Gallus pulls an object from his coat that's about the size of a fist. Fletcher looks confused. That would be a frag grenade.
Good, you're still passing first year. How does one use such a device?
Fletcher frowned. One removes the cap, pulls the pin, and throws the frag grenade at the target.
My word, Fletcher, excellent, well done. Now, if you knew your second-year studies, you would know that these grenades are standard issue for Ogrin. Tell me then, Fletcher, how could an Ogrin possibly utilize these mind-bendingly complicated devices that require not 2, but 3 entire steps to utilize?
Fletcher grinned, though his amusement had certainly faded. You're very protective of them.
Ogrins are incredibly valuable assets, if their officers bother to train them properly. Ogryns are obedient and loyal as Canids like Brutus here. Brutus heard his name and smiled as he looked up at Gallus. If I trained Brutus here poorly and gave him a command, he wouldn't understand a thing I told him. Officers who get frustrated when Ogryns can't take and hold a hill probably never explain to their charges what it means to take something or what it means to hold it, and maybe not even what a hill is. Ogryns are like children. When they're badly behaved, you blame the parents. Commissar Gallus pushed past Fletcher into the officers' club to take his meal, leaving the other officer to stew. The remainder of the voyage to Molech was mostly uneventful. There was a brief power failure that caused the Ogryn barracks to plunge into darkness. Biff and Gallus managed to calm the terrified Ogryn who were convinced that the Emperor had sent the darkness after them because a few of them had forgotten to say their prayers. When they re-entered real space, the Hive fleet had still not yet reached Molech. Gallus sighed in relief. The shadow of the warp had not yet covered the planet. Molech was a jungle planet full of all manner of dangerous, huge predators. Many of these creatures were hunted by local Imperial Knight houses that ruled and defended the place. The Astra Militarum would help bolster and support the planetary defenses. Gallus suspected that some Astartes chapters might be involved as well, but he was not informed of any such support. Og had his face pressed against a viewport, looking down at Molech, which to Og's eyes looked no bigger than his fist.
Don't worry, little Molech. Og won't let nothing bad happen to you. The Imperial God is gonna smash all the bad bugs.
Little did Og know the truly endless numbers of bad bugs that drifted through the void of space, drawing ever closer to Molech.